What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from geeksterlabs.com, and today I have another video in my series of Canon EOS R videos, guys. If you want to check out any of the other videos I add to this series, make sure you check out the annotation in the top corner. I'll also have some clips at the very end of this video as well that you can click on to see some of the other videos I'm going to be posting for the Canon EOS R. But for this video itself, we're going to be doing a full walk-around tour of the physical body of the Canon EOS R. So this is not a full review. This is just basically a tour of every single button, every single port, every single inch, nook and cranny of the Canon EOS R. This is probably the perfect type of video for those of you that maybe just purchased this camera and maybe don't feel like going through the manual and figuring out what all the buttons do. This will give you a good walkthrough for that. Or if you're on the fence on whether or not you want to buy this camera and you're kind of not really happy with maybe the photos and things you've seen online and you want to see something that's a lot more detailed and a lot more thorough, this is the video for you. So that's enough from me. I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get into the full body tour of the Canon EOS R. Alright guys, so let's begin the tour of the EOS R. So I have on here the 24 to 105 lens. I'll show you some quick things about the lens itself. I think these are all features that all the lenses, the R mount lenses are going to have. So as you can tell, we have our zoom right here. So we have our zoom ring, we have our focus ring, but then the interesting part is this is a really cool, this is like the multi-function ring right here. So you can actually program this ring to do whatever you want it to do. I have it to adjust ISO on mine. It is a clicking ring. It's not smooth, so keep that in mind too. It's not something you can like smoothly turn. It does have a click if you can hear it there. But I really like that. That's really nice. It's really easy and quick to just adjust something on the fly. You don't even have to take your face off the camera if you're using it for photos, and even for video, you can just quickly adjust it and not have to stop what you're doing and look for the button on the back of it. So on the side here, we have the autofocus button and the manual focus. Below that, we have stabilizer to turn it on and off. Not sure why you'd want to turn it off, but the option is available to you there. On the top of this lens, it does have the lockout. So if you do want to do the lockout when you store the camera, the zoom won't accidentally pop open when it's in the bag or something like that. Although this lens is pretty stiff, so it doesn't. I've never noticed it slide out accidentally. I've had other lenses before when it's not locked out. By the time you open it up, it pops up really easily, but this one's pretty stiff. So that's a lockout switch in case you need to use that for this particular lens. On the front of the camera right here, we have the R badge right there for R, and then we have the lens removal button, so you pop that off, and then we have the nice big opening with our little sensor right there being covered up. So you can snap that back into place. Nice firm snap. I really love these huge lenses. I've actually enjoyed using this lens with the camera. I guess I've been using the smaller Lumix or Panasonic Lumix lenses, and those are so skinny and small that having like a nice big chunky lens has been pretty nice. So I get to the bottom of the camera, we have the door for the battery. That's easy to get to. And also, if you notice right here, if you do want to get a continuous battery pack, you can have that to where the battery has a wire coming out of it, and then you can plug it into the wall, and that will give you continuous power. We have a little trap door. I'm not sure if you can see that right there in the corner. So you just basically move that piece out, and so you buy the battery and it has a wire that comes out, and then the wire would slide through there, and that's what you would use to plug it into the wall and have continuous power. A tripod mount on the bottom right there. We have our controller port right here, so I believe this is something you use for an additional battery, or I guess there are probably going to be some other there could be some other accessories that come out that will need to connect via that port on the bottom right here. But when you don't need that, just put that out of the way, and that just kind of gums it up and plugs up that hole right there. Okay, so let's check out some of the ports we have here on the side. So on the very top here, we have the remote control terminal. So this is what you plug in there to obviously to use a control with that, the remote control. So that's the port on the very top right there. These little swivel out things kind of stay out of the way. I kind of like how they swivel out, so it allows you to get the cables into place. Here's another one right here. So we have the mic input and we have the headphone jack, so you can monitor your audio, which is very nice. You can do both of those things right there, 1.5 or 3.5, I should say, millimeter. So plug that up, and then we have over here so we have the HDMI, so that not HDMI mini on the bottom, and we have a USB Type C on the top, which is very nice. So that's pretty much the newest ports that a lot of these cameras are starting to sport. Much quicker data rates with that USB Type C, much faster. Something I forgot to mention on the front of the camera is stereo microphone. So we have the right and left mics that you can see, those two holes right there. That is what those holes are for right there. And then we also have over here the auto focus assist beam right there. That's also the self timer and the remote control lamp. So that's what's on the front of the camera. All right, so when you get to the top of the camera, we have our on and off switch right there. Very easy to get to. Kind of wish they would throw in like a movie or video setting, but that's something you have to do through the mode dial over here. I'll show you that in just a second. We have the speaker right there, really small, tiny speaker. We do have the hot shoe on top, so you can use lots of accessories with that. And then we have our LCD display. And so this is actually pretty cool. So it has a display on the top right here, and you can actually change the information that appears by using the lamp. Also, this is like the info button. So if you press this, if you just press it and it switches the information it shows you on the top. If you hold it down, it switches to like light mode, so it lights up more. So if you're at night, if it's dark, you can't see really very well, you can hold that button down and it switches it, kind of inverses the colors from black to white, and then it lets you to be able to see a little bit easier. Over here we have the lock button. This is also a multi-function button, so you can program that to be whatever you want. Next to that we have the mode button. So this is what you can use to switch the different modes for video, and you can also use it to switch to camera as well. So if you want to shoot stills or you want to shoot video, this is how you have to do it. You have to switch it through there. So I can show you on the back of the camera itself. When you press mode, it gives you all those options for the different manual exposure, aperture priority, all those different things for video shooting modes, and you pop that there. Now it goes into photo. So that's how you have to switch between video and photo. I kind of wish it was a dedicated switch to just easily do that really quickly. There might be a way to program into one of the multi-function buttons to do that, but as far as I know right now, this is how you have to do it. You have to switch, press that mode button, and basically tap the info button on the bottom to switch between the two. And depending on what mode you have it in, the menu settings, when you go into the menu settings, will be different based on what the shooting mode is. So that's one thing to consider right there. We also have a custom dial right here. So this is a dial that you can use to adjust different things. Right now it's adjusting the aperture right there. We do have the video record button. So when you are shooting video, you hold that down, it will start to shoot, will start to record your movie. We have another selecting dial right here to be able to switch through menu settings. And I believe right now I have it changing. What is that changing? I think that's changing the the speed. That's the speed right now. So like 1/30th of a second. So that's the dial right here on top. Next to that we have a multi-function button, so you can program that to be whatever you want it to be. And after that we have the shutter button, which you guys know what a shutter button is for taking photos, so don't have to explain anything about that. So that is the top section of the camera right there. Alright, making our way to the back of the camera, we have the menu button right there. That's how you get to the menu system, obviously. Next to that we have the dioptric, I believe this is what this is called, the dioptric adjustment knob right here. So if you, to adjust based on your eyesight. So if you want to take your glasses off and try to use the viewfinder, you may need to adjust that to make sure that you can see clearly. We do have the sensor right here, so when your eye goes to the eye cup right here, it automatically turns off the screen like it does like that. I actually hate that option. I can't stand when it automatically does that, because sometimes when you're touching options on the screen, it'll think it's your eyeball getting close to use the viewfinder. This is a very good viewfinder. The best thing about this viewfinder is that whatever you see through the viewfinder, that's how the video is going to appear, or your photos as well. So it's electronic viewfinder, very nice. Move to over here, we have one of the brand new features of the EOS R is the multi-function bar. So this bar is something that you can program based on different modes that you're in. So when you're shooting photos, it can have a totally different functionality. When you're shooting videos, completely different functionality. When you're previewing in preview mode, looking at your footage or your photos, it also has different functionality as well. And it's completely programmable, so you can basically assign it to do whatever you want to do. So basically, you can have it to where it scrolls left and right, and you can use that to make adjustments. You can tap it left, tap it right, and those are also different functions. So it's basically 3 different things. So the scroll functionality and just the tapping of the buttons. And you can program those 3 things to be lots of different things depending on, like I said, whatever mode you happen to be in. Here we obviously has the nice touchscreen, very nice to use, very similar to the other ones that you've probably seen for, Canon's been using the same type of menu system and touchscreen for a while now. But it's a really good sharp touchscreen. Obviously flips out. Completely forward facing or backwards facing, doesn't really matter, and that kind of just goes out of the way. Very nice. After that we have the auto focus start button right there, as you can see, and then the star over here is the usual auto exposure FE lock button, and then below that we have the autofocus point. That's also the index, the magnify, the reduce button. Basic buttons. You've probably seen those on other Canon cameras as well. After that we have the info button, and that basically kind of changes the information that's being displayed on the LCD display on the back. After that we have the directional pad, so up, down, left, right. This one does not turn, it just is directional. And then we have the quick menu button, or the set button inside the center right there. Kind of not a whole lot of buttons on this particular camera. After that we have the playback button, so you can press it there to shoot or to view the photos you've taken or to watch the videos you've already shot. And then we have the trash can button on the side right there. After that we have the slide opening there for the SD card, so a single SD card slot. Popped it up in there. I don't know if I mentioned before, but obviously like all the other Canon cameras, we have the spots there to attach the neck strap if that's something you want to use, or you can attach whatever different types of things you need to attach onto there. So that is pretty much all of the camera itself. So as you can see, guys, they kind of have removed, in my opinion, or they did not add many buttons, many function buttons to this camera. I was kind of hoping there'd be a little bit more accessibility, especially things for like white balance or I don't know, some other functionality to have on the back here. They kind of just make you rely on using the touchscreen on the back of the camera. So something to think about, but there are some things that you can program to get into a little bit faster. Like I said, you have the ring up here. You do have the function bar that you can program that to do different things. It can't do everything, but there are quite a few things that they do make available to you, whether you're taking photos or shooting video, that you can use that to adjust a bunch of the settings as well. And speaking of white balance, make sure if you guys are looking for a video on how to set up the white balance, a custom white balance when using this camera or really any Canon EOS camera, I'll have a video of one of those to check out as well. I'll give you step-by-step directions on how to do that. So that is it for this tour of the Canon EOS R. If you have any questions, post those down below and I'll make sure to get back to you as quickly as possible. If you want to check out some of my other videos for the Canon EOS R, make sure you check out any one of those clips right there. I'll have a playlist with lots of other videos I'm going to be coming out for this camera, okay? That's going to be it for me today. And if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, make sure you click on my face. And don't forget to ring that bell if you want to be notified of my videos as they come out. So I'll see you guys in the next video review.